The room was already too quiet when her voice cut through it. Sharp, public, designed to wound. "You're off the guest list until you apologize to my boss." Every head turned. Crystal glasses paused mid-air. Music kept playing, oblivious. I watched her mouth form my name like a threat. I nodded. Slowly. "Okay." That was all. No protest. No explanation. Just acceptance, neat and obedient. Her lips curled, satisfied. She thought she'd won something. Thought power was loud. I stepped away from the velvet rope as security looked to her for confirmation. She waved them off like dogs. The doors closed behind me with a soft, expensive click. Outside, the night air was cold enough to sting. Inside my chest, something steadied. She didn't know who she'd just banned. And more importantly, she didn't know what morning would bring. By dawn, my phone was vibrating itself off the nightstand. Missed calls, unknown numbers. Then one I recognized. Her boss. I didn't answer. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, replaying the night in fragments. The way she'd smiled when she said it. The way she'd leaned into the word apologize like it was a leash. Linda had always been like that. Efficient cruelty wrapped in professional ambition. She collected proximity to power and mistook it for ownership. She'd started calling herself gatekeeper. 6 months ago. Half joking, half drunk on influence. I'd let it slide. That was my mistake. Because betrayal isn't always an affair or a secret child or a hidden life. Sometimes it's smaller, more precise. It's the moment someone decides you're expendable because they've forgotten why you matter. I'd met her boss years ago. Long before Linda, long. Before the foundation galas and donor, dinners and curated exclusivity. I'd signed papers no one bothered to read twice. I'd agreed to stay invisible because it made things easier. I'd watched people like Linda climb ladders built on my silence. And last night she'd kicked the ladder away. On purpose. By mid-morning, the calls stopped. Emails started. Then the knock. I opened the door to find a man I hadn't seen flustered in 20 years. Tie crooked. Skin pale. Eyes scanning me like I might disappear. "Please tell me," he said, not stepping inside, "that Linda didn't just ban the chairman." I said nothing. I let the pause stretch. Let it bruise. He swallowed. "She didn't know," he rushed. She thought. "She screamed," I said calmly. "Publicly." Silence. I nodded, I continued. Politely. His shoulders sagged like a verdict had been delivered. I stepped aside. He entered like a man walking into his own audit. I poured coffee. Offered none. Inside my head, I cataloged everything. The contracts. The clauses. The discretionary authority everyone assumed belonged to someone else. The way my name sat quietly at the top of documents. No one beneath bothered to question. Linda had never asked. She'd never looked past the surface. That was a real crime. By noon, the board had convened without scheduling it. By 1, Linda was on leave. By 2, her access card didn't work. I wasn't present for any of it. That was intentional. Power doesn't need an audience. Late afternoon, she showed up at my door. Mascara smudged. Phone clutched like evidence. Her voice shook before she spoke. "You set me up." I studied her the way you study a flaw in glass. Interested. Detached. "I accepted your decision," I said. "That's all." "You could have told me," she snapped. "You could have said who you were." I tilted my head. "You didn't ask." Her breath hitched. Reality landed, heavy and irreversible. "You're ruining my career," she whispered. I leaned closer, lowering my voice. "No," I said. "You did. When you confused authority with permission." She reached for anger. It slipped through her fingers. "I'll apologize," she said desperately. "To you, to him, to everyone." I stepped back. "It won't help." That was the moment her eyes broke. Not from fear, from understanding. I closed the door gently, locked it. Rested my forehead against the wood for exactly 1 second. Then I straightened. That evening, the event went on without her. The guest list was amended, quietly. My name was restored to its proper place. I didn't attend. I walked instead. Through streets that didn't care who I was. Through crowds that didn't bow or whisper. I felt lighter. Not because I'd won, but because I no longer needed to be unseen to be powerful. Somewhere, Linda was learning the difference between proximity and ownership. Between noise and control. Between screaming and consequence. I learned mine a long time ago. And this time, I didn't need to nod.